we kind of almost backed into Liam when we were pulling into the venue.
You nearly run him over.
Well, yeah, we almost ran him over. And then Ziek was kind of making fun of him during their sound check. Then we stole a bottle of wine from their dressing room. So, yeah.
Not best friends.
No.
Welcome. We are Neil,
Luke and Dave.
340-somethings reminiscing on the runners and riders of 90s guitar music.
We look at the bands who soundtracked our youth on both sides of the pond and interview some of our heroes from the bands that defined a generation.
You'll hear about the good, the bad and the ugly of 90s guitar music.
This podcast is Stupid and Contagious. 138 of the Stupid and Contagious podcast, having a chat with Pete, or Peter, as he likes to read, from Dandy Warhols later. It's a good one. That's coming up later on. For that, Luke, what's been going on in Japan, Tokyo?
Oh, not a lot, man. Nothing much. Tell you what I did do this week. I read Evan Dando's autobiography, Rumours of My Demise. That was pretty good.
All right, good, yeah.
Yeah.
Are they rumours? Yeah. Are they just rumours?
Yeah, but he's not dead. So, yeah. It's interesting. He spent quite a lot of time talking about, like, how, like, the press really focus on, like, his looks and how he didn't really give a shit about all of that. And he spends a lot of time talking about drugs. You think it's bollocks that he didn't care?
He's well vain.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Although, like, he said at the time, do you remember he did, like, cut his hair really short because everyone was, like, focusing on, like, his pretty boy kind of long hair. Right, and he did cut it all short, didn't he? But he still looked great. He's just a good-looking guy.
Does he talk about us in the book?
We're not mentioned, no.
Right,
no.
Okay.
He skipped over that part.
Right.
Somehow.
Okay. He probably wrote it before we started the podcast or something. You know.
Yeah, that would be it.
He would have.
Yeah.
Did you watch the England-Japan game?
I didn't. But as soon as I walked into the office, this other professor chatted to me about it. Yeah, it's pretty amazing from the Japanese point of view.
First time we've lost to an Asian team, apparently.
Apparently so. Yeah. Luckily, it was our Brighton boy Mitoma that scored the goals. So,
yeah, that's true. So
balances
we're
it out, you know.
Yeah. True.
It was on too late here. I watched the highlights only, but it seemed like Japan had the upper hand throughout the whole match.
I think they deserve to win. Yeah. Oh well, it's not a great last game before the World Cup, but hopefully we'll pick it up.
No. Yeah. Sure.
If it goes ahead, I don't know. We should all boycott it, really. But anyway, to see what Dave's been up to.
There is talk of that, isn't there?
There
is talk of boycotting it.
No one's got the balls. The king hasn't even got the balls to not go, has he?
Oh, he's going to pull a sickie when it comes to it. Mark my words.
I hope so.
Oh, that would be great if he didn't go.
He won't.
I'd kneel to him then.
Yeah.
Be good if he did go and headbutted Trump. That would be good. Wouldn't it?
Just jammed a sausage finger right up his nose. Yeah.
Yeah.
No breathing happening if you've got his hand on your face, is there?
No.
Not a chance. Not a chance.
Maybe that's his plan then. Should give him a chance.
Sure.
Dave, what else has been going on in Berwick?
Oh, man. There was a red kite flying about the other day. Everyone was
brilliant
talking about that on the group chat.
Right, just for people watching, and you might notice that Luke's got things attached to his ears now. That's because his old headphones failed on him, so he's got these bad boys on. I like the look.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
We can see what you look like when you're DJing. So
Sure.
Dave, red kites in Berwick. What's going on there? You mean the bird, right?
Yeah. I think there's one nesting nearby.
Oh,
that's the most exciting thing that's happened this week. I'm sorry.
That's pretty good. I think Ed will be happy with that. As long as he gets something, he'll be happy.
Yeah. I used to get a lot of red kites when I lived down in Kanagawa by the sea. Big old birds, aren't they?
I don't know what they look like. I'm not very good with birds. I don't really know one bird from another.
They look just like a
kite.
Come
and take your food. They don't look like a kite. They look like an eagle.
Kites look different.
Yeah.
It's like an eagle. That's true. They do. So, Neil, you've been at Shine. Tell us all about it. Got a new T-shirt?
Got a new T-shirt. It's got the line up on the back. Nice. It was great. It was great. Yeah, really good. Unexpected highlights for me were stereo MCs. Really good.
Oh, I like them.
They're really good. Yeah, I like him, but I wasn't, wasn't expecting it to be the one, But that's probably my highlight of the weekend. He had his boiler suit on. He still looks the same, really. I think he looked quite old when he was young. That's what it was. Alabama Free as well. Didn't know much about them. They were good. I only managed to catch a bit of their set because I had to go and see someone else, but they were good. I liked it.
Oh,
Trans Global Underground, they were good. And that was like, they played my uni freshers ball. So I hadn't seen them since 1995. Oh, good.
Nice.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Clone Roses, they were good. They were a really good tribute act. But there is always something, I always find tribute acts amusing. It's not when they're doing the songs, it's the in-between bits when they're pretending to be them. That bit for me is always a bit cringe. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know they have to.
Then you break the bubble, don't you? If you're going to come out of it.
But they were good, sounded like the Stone Roses, looked like the Stone Roses. It was good. And they did like a nice tribute to Manny before they came on and stuff. They had playing on the screen and that. It was good. Jim Bob, fucking brilliant. He just gets cooler and cooler each time I see him, Jim Bob. He's brilliant.
Oh, nice. Did he have lots of chat between songs and stuff?
Yeah, all of that. He's just cool, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
His band's really good.
But had the Clone Roses removed their Manny out of respect, ejected him from the band?
Should have done.
They should have done. Yeah.
Oh, you're right, Dave. They should have removed him out of respect. Neds were brilliant. They sort of closed the show. Blue Tones, saw them again. Second time this year. They were good again. I did go and see the Lightning Seeds because I thought, they were the big sort of headliners. I thought I'd go and see them on Dave's behalf. Yeah.
What were they like?
They were all right, but because Neds were playing at the same time, so I saw the start of Neds. I thought, all right, I'll do half of Neds and then I'll go and do half of Lightning Seeds. So I did half of Neds and they were fucking brilliant. I was like, I better go and see the Lightning Seeds. Went in, I caught like 2 songs. I thought, that's enough. I'll go back and watch the end of the Neds set. So I went back. It was all right. It was all right.
Vindicated.
They were all right, but if you got the option between them and Neds, it's a no-brainer, isn't it?
It would be, yeah.
Yeah, and as I saw in the pictures, I saw John.
Yeah,
I said,
so
we had you on the podcast. He did say, oh yeah, I loved that. I loved being on that. But he might have just been making that up. Who knows?
That's nice of him to say. Nice of him to pretend.
He did. I remember it.
And then
he did enjoy it.
It was great.
I think he did it right. And then he saw Steve Lemack.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, it's cool. It's good because he interviewed John Penny. They did like a little interview. A lot of the stories was the same that was on our podcast. So it was quite. I knew what was coming. Yeah, a few people recognised me from the podcast, which was always weird, and nice.
Yeah.
So
did you dump some leaflets?
I did. Yeah, I did hand out some leaflets.
Maybe
if
that's
anyone
what
is
they
watching via one of my
Yeah.
flyers, then let us know in the comments. And then I know it's not a complete waste of fucking time. We probably ended up in the Butlins bin, most of them, but never mind. Got to try, haven't you?
Yeah.
But a great weekend.
Good on you.
Looking forward to
Look great.
November if I get to go. Yeah,
That's a good lineup, isn't it? That November one. Oh man,
yeah,
it'll be good.
Incredible. Mondays, isn't it? That'd be good. Never seen the Mondays. Oh, I have actually. They supported Oasis in 2000. Tried to forget that gig. It's pretty shit. Right, that's that then. So shall we get into this week's podcast episode with Pete from Dandy Warhols? Should we do it?
Can't wait. Let's do it.
If you are watching this, please do give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel and get involved in the comments. And if you are listening, then please do leave us a review and share it with your friends so they can find the podcast. Got a lot of new followers again. That posts are still sort of ticking along. I think that Facebook one has peaked at 250,000. So there we go.
That's the Lane Staley one.
Fingers, yeah.
Fuck. Okay, so let me talk about that actually. So I made the mistake of reading some of those comments. Fucking hell!
I told you not to, didn't I?
Personal attacks against me. So
yeah, but it's keyboard warriors, isn't it?
I guess so.
Warriors.
So I went back and checked my sources because of course I didn't make it up. It's not my opinion. So
I did say it's reports at the time. You did say that.
Yeah. So I got it from the Greg Prato book. about grunge. And two different people, both kind of said the same thing. Although, looking at it from my academic perspective, both of them were not so close to him. Then I checked another book, the Everyone Loves Our Town one, no mention of it. So, I mean, my informed opinion is it's probably less likely to be true, but it's not such a good story. But I didn't just make it up.
It is just a conversation. We didn't say these are the facts. This is definitely what happened. You said reports at the time. We're just having a conversation. People get, people keyboard warriors, isn't it? They get very. They wouldn't do that in real life. Just have.
Oh, but I understand they want to defend, their idol, and that's fine. But we weren't having a go at him. We were having a go at heroin, the tragedy of heroin, right?
As I pointed out, we do champion Lane and Alice in Chains on the podcast regularly, which is more than most of the people attacking you have probably ever done. So
we do indeed. Yeah,
let's try and keep it clean. We do our best. But anyone who's following via that, then welcome. We do try and do our best to fact check, but we can't promise that we're correct all the time.
We don't do our best to fact check.
But who knows?
We don't do our best to fact check, do we?
Can't fact check on the move, can you? Can't fact check on the fly. Well, that's what it's a conversation. You can't fact check everything you put in a conversation. No one does. You know what I mean?
Well, the point is, they didn't just pluck it out of thin air. I didn't just make it up. No. I read it in a book, basically.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's fine. Anyway, we've got a sponsor this week. We've got our old friends Royal Whitby Events sponsoring the podcast.
Oh, brilliant. Thanks, guys.
Got some good stuff coming up. So this week on the 7th, they've got Captain's Beard playing. It's a charity gig. I think it's free entry, so get down there for that. Brutus Gold's Love Train on the 18th. Night of disco. You like a bit of disco, don't you, Dave?
Yeah. Big time.
Get down there. Bruce Gold's Love
Enthusiasm.
On the 24th, they've got a Cure tribute band called the Strange Angels. That'd be good.
Nice. Yeah.
Cure. Then on the 25th, they've got an Ozzy and Black Sabbath tribute band. The day after. Double whammy.
Wow. Yeah. So stay for the weekend.
Stay for the weekend. 3rd of May, they got the Goth Weekend that they have in Whitby. Huge lineup, including Dogs D'Amour and Sanctum. Dogs D'Amour, that's got a big... Yeah, well, you know me, I'm a goth.
You were over there, weren't you?
Probably be there.
Yeah.
I go everywhere where there's, most goth weekends I'm there, so I'll be there.
Sure.
Also, they've got an outdoor festival with Captain of Lost Waves, Howling Johnny, indie tunes from Crescent, Camel Island, Late Label, and Dan Donnelly from The Levellers. The Laws to Close with indie bangers. I'm reading that out.
Yeah.
So... Yeah. Not my words. And then 12th of September, they've got Robert Arkin from The Commitments. He played the manager in the film, but apparently he was originally cast as the singer till that other guy got it. But he's performing songs with The Commitments as part of The Commitments' 35-year anniversary. 35 years old.
Bloody hell.
Remember when that came out?
Luke loves The Commitments, doesn't he?
I do like The Commitments, yeah. It's great.
Oh, I don't.
Oh, is it? I thought you didn't
don't like
them.
it. Yeah.
Oh,
no, Neil hates it. I think it's great.
Luke don't mind it. I'm not a massive fan. Yeah. 2nd, 3rd of October is the big one. The Cud Weekender.
Oh,
there's a lot of flyers out for this at the...
is that the one with Biss?
So it's the Wedding Present, Cud, the Primitives, Young Knives, Biss, Slime City, all in a weekend.
What a lineup!
And go on their website. I'll put a link in the show notes, and you can get like weekender packages with like accommodation and stuff. Oh, it'd be great. I could try and get down to that.
That's not till October, so plenty of time to get on that, people. Get
in there. Get your tickets early. 2nd, 3rd of October. Now, 24th of October, there's a band called Top Loader playing as part of their 2026 tour.
Yeah.
I might just leave it at that.
All right.
Let's go up.
And then in November, all right, yeah, let's go. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Refresh ourselves, get on because Big Mocker on
Why go all the way to Whitby when they're probably playing in the Berwick Beer Garden the following weekend?
But they did last summer at Wickfest.
Yeah, 2026 tour, Top Loader. And then in November they've got their Scar Weekender, Death of Guitar Pop, Specials Limited, Sharp Class, the Decatonics, and many, many more. So go on their website and there's a more in-depth list of what's going on there. I like a bit of Ska. Ska weekends are always good, aren't they? So yeah, get in there early with tickets for that one. That's this week's sponsor, Royal Whitby Events, Royal Whitby Hotel in Whitby.
Where else?
Nice, isn't it? So a sponsor. I haven't had one for a long time.
Thanks, guys. And great lineups. Amazing.
It's good. Looks good. Definitely looks good. I'll definitely try and get along to some of those. Dave, fancy a weekend in the van? Let me know. Go out there. Top loader, 24th October. Put it in your diary.
Could just borrow it, couldn't I? Go on my own in the van.
I guess, yeah, you could do that.
Look at his little face. You feel really upset about it. It's funny though.
No, let's do it.
We should actually. All right, 24th October. Let's do it. Luke, you come over as well.
Can't do October. Give me a summer one. I might see if I can make it.
Top loading.
It's top loader. All right. I'll take a week off work for top loader.
Yeah. You'll need another week to recover. So
from the rock.
Take 2 off.
Sure.
Dandy Warhols. Let's go. Luke.
All right.
On.
Right. Well, before we start, big thanks to previous guest Chris Ollie from 6x7 for setting this up for us and helping us out with this. Thanks so much, Chris. Really appreciate it. Dandy Warhols, have you got a Wikipedia description?
Oh, no, I haven't. Sorry, a bit rusty.
Rusty Lee.
You like Rusty Lee, don't you?
It's great.
They're an American psychedelic alternative rock band.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I guess they are. Psychedelic indie rock, honorary Britpoppers, as we'll talk about later, I guess. Formed in 1994 in Portland, Oregon, in the United States of America. You got main guy, so voice, vocals and guitar, Courtney Taylor. Today's guest on guitar, Peter Holstrom. Zia McCabe on the keys. And the first drummer guy called Eric Hedford. So 2 guitars, keys, but no bass. 2
guitars, keys, right.
And drums, but no bass. Although I think they have a live bassist now these days, but yeah.
You could have had bass on the keyboards.
Yeah.
That's what I guess they'd synth bass.
So basically played locally, started to get a bit of a following. We're famous for kind of playing with no clothes on, even female keyboardist Zia. We talk about it a little bit in the interview. First album came out 1995 on the just local indie label, Tim Kerr Records, called Dandy's Rule OK. There's quite a few bands called whatever band name Rule OK. It's good. It's good, right?
Listen before this. Yeah, it's like as he talks about, a bit more shoegazy, but it's still got that sort of Dandy's pop vibe going on as well, hasn't it? It's
it has.
It's not totally. It still sounds like them.
It does, but yeah, pretty shoegazy though. Pretty shoegazy. I hadn't heard it before we interviewed him, but yeah, I was a bit surprised by the shoegazy.
If you go on YouTube and have a look as well, they've got some of the old videos as well. They're really good actually, especially for that time. Definitely worth checking it out.
Right, so that's 1995. So then, based on that, they signed to Capitol Records. They did make an album, which later came to be called the Black Album. In 2004. But if you go on Wikipedia and any other website, they'll tell you that it was rejected by Capitol for not having any hits on it. But listen to the interview to find out the truth.
Find out the truth.
So that eventually came out in 2004.
That's doing a claw finger thing.
It's good, man. I liked it. The truth, you sucker. So second, Dandy Warhols came out in 97, reached number 16 in the UK. They always charted much higher in the UK than in America for all their albums, basically. And spawned the mega hit Not If You Were the Last Junkie on Earth, which is just great.
Is that the heroin is so passé one?
That's the one. Yeah. Number 13 in the UK charts. So we'll talk about it in a minute, but yeah, so that was about kind of the guy out of the Brian Jonestown's Massacre. It was about Anton, basically. And it was kind of like a sarcastic kind of piss take. And well, if you see the film Dig, then Brian Jonestown Massacre released like a counter song called Not If You Were the Last Dandy on Earth, to kind of have a go back at them, which kind of ratcheted up the rivalry. Again, listen to the interview for how real the rivalry actually was. Huge album. Another couple of singles, both got into the top 40 in the UK. And Pitchfork put it on their list of best Britpop albums that aren't British. Bit more poppy than shoegazy compared to the first album. And good album.
Yeah.
After that, the first drummer, Eric, left. New guy, Brent de Boer, a friend of Courtney's, joined the band. They started getting loads of airplay. They played on TFI Friday. They played Not If You're the Last Junkie on Earth on TFI Friday, 98. Yeah. Then
Chris
third
Evans
album came out in 2000.
Was in a band naked, wasn't he? Do you remember
Chris
that?
Evans?
Yeah, didn't
Was
he used
he?
to perform naked?
In your dreams,
I hope someone else remembers that, so I don't, it's not me just going mental.
That's what
Chris
you want.
Evans naked in a band. No, is that maybe?
Yeah,
Maybe.
now it's sort of something's happening in my head as well. Maybe if
Something's happening in your pants.
We'll see. Get involved in the comments. Let us know what's going on.
Third album came out in 2000. 13 Tales from Urban Bohemia, with the big hit Bohemian Like You, which got to number 5 on the second time of release in the Vodafone advert. Mega hit all over Europe, basically.
Huge
again,
song.
we talk about it in the interview. Huge.
The
song.
riff sounds a lot like a Stones song, doesn't it? One of the big Stones songs. Can't remember.
That would have been helpful if you
Brown
could.
Sugar, perhaps. Might be Brown Sugar. Ding, 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 ding. No, that sounds like
it does. You're right.
a quiz show.
No, I know what you mean now.
It
I
does,
know what you mean now.
Yeah. Oh, it's a great song. And again, as we talk about in the interview, Courtney used the money from that to buy this massive kind of space in Portland, which they called the auditorium, which they practice in. Apparently there's a wine bar in there as well, and all sorts of... Yeah. If I ever go to Portland, which is kind of a dream of mine, then I'll definitely pop in.
Let's go. I'll come with
What's stopping you?
Yeah. Make your dreams reality. That's what you got to do. Life's short. Just do it.
What if I get kidnapped by ICE?
I'll come with you.
You won't.
They won't kidnap me.
No, that's true. I guess so. Yeah, it'll be all right.
Yeah, we'll do. Let's go.
Portland and Olympia. We'll do like a whole thing.
I'd like, can we do the South by Southwest as well while we're there?
I think it's like couple of thousand miles away.
Yeah, that's
Hang on, I'm coming.
You don't like coming anywhere with me.
Yeah. You won't even go to Whitby with him.
You haven't shared a
All right,
van
all
with him
three
for
of us,
3 nights.
road trip.
That's true.
Road trip across the US. Done.
All right, let's do it. Hitting all the indie
music
spots.
hubs. Yeah.
All right. Again, we talk about an interview that played with Bowie at Meltdown in 2002, supported Bowie the year later on his tour. Fourth album came out 2003, Welcome to the Monkey House, number 20, still doing really well. Bit more synthy and produced by Nick Rhodes from Duran Duran, interestingly, with collaborations from Bowie.
He's quite an interesting guy.
Yeah. So he's done that. And Evan Dando as well, collaborating on that album. And the guy from Feeder. 2004, the film we just talked about, Dig, was released. Although it was filmed like over the previous 7 years. The kind of charts their rise to fame, doesn't it? Alongside Brian Jonestown Massacre's rise. Well, lack of rise to fame, I guess. And if anyone hasn't seen it, we talked about it before, didn't we? A few weeks ago, but it's absolutely incredible.
Film. Yeah, it's a must watch.
Yeah, since then, basically, Dandy Warhols have never stopped making music. They've never stopped being a band. They've had another 9 albums since then. Their latest one, Rockmaker, came out in 2024. Got really good reviews. 4 collaborations, Slash, Debbie Harry, Frank Black. And as we speak, last week they got a new covers album called Pin-Ups, named after the David Bowie one, with the covers from loads of people: Runaways, Beatles, Cure, Gang of Four, Cult, Clash, Dylan, The Dead, The Cult, etc.
It's interesting,
and
isn't it?
Still doing well.
Wonder why they did a covers album.
Well,
what made them do that?
I think it's a collection of all the covers they've done over the years. They just kind of put them together because they've just done so many.
Right.
Yeah.
Just to get them out there, I think.
And Pete also has his own kind of solo project called Pete International Airport. They got 2 albums and a load of remixes for kind of more famous people as well. And busy guy and cool fucking dude, man.
Yeah, man. All right. I don't know why I said yeah, man. Let's have a listen to the interview and then we'll have a chat afterwards. It's Pete from the Dandy Warhols. Enjoy. Peter. Do you prefer Peter or Pete? What would you prefer?
Either one. Um,
All right.
I like to see it as Peter in writing, and other than
Right.
that,
Okay.
I don't care. Yeah,
Okay.
it's too hard to
Where
police that anyway. So.
where are you joining us from today? Where are you zooming in from? Where's home?
I'm at home in Portland, Oregon.
Wow,
Nice.
the indie capital of America.
Yeah, still hanging on to that title somehow.
Yeah. Is it like that? Is it like an indie town? Is it like Portlandia?
Sometimes yes, sometimes it's a little too close to that. Um, and other times it's I don't know, it's the West Coast kind of hellhole thing going on here with the homeless problem and
Yeah.
uh like really bad uh I don't know, really bad drugs. You know, the
Mm.
fentanyl thing is really
Right. Yeah.
something else over here. So yeah, and it's
Yeah.
kind of obvious
That's rough.
in some
Yeah.
ways. So yeah, but you can ignore that every so often and pretend
Yeah.
that we're still
In the 90s.
Especially when
yeah.
you're in a room surrounded with guitars. Is that a little studio you've got going there, or?
Yeah, I've kind of always, but not always. I've had a little home studio for God, probably the last 20 years.
Yeah.
This is the first time it's actually had its own dedicated room. Um,
Right.
I used to share it
Nice.
with the washer and dryer or the furnace or
Yeah.
whatever else
No.
was in the basement. So yeah,
That's cool, man. That's cool.
yeah, it's nice and
Yeah.
easy. Everything's close and
Yeah.
switch gears pretty quick and get a lot done.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite guitar of those ones behind you? Do you have a favorite?
Uh, of the ones behind me.
Yeah, they not the main. They not your main ones.
No, I kind of I rotate things in and out just depending on kind of what I feel um or what I haven't played in a long time. But
Yeah.
the kind of orangey one, you can kind of see the
Mm.
bottom of it.
Yeah.
That's the Telecaster I used in the Bohemian video.
Oh wow.
It's just an amazing guitar. I love the neck pickup on in particular. So yeah, it's a
Cool, man.
favorite. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. This week, as we speak, you've just released a covers album.
Yes.
Pin-ups, cheekily titled Pin-ups.
Yeah, I really think all the good titles for covers collections have been done over and over and over again. So yeah,
Oh,
we
man.
just
If you're gonna steal from Bowie, right? I mean, come on.
it's a steal, but it's also a nod.
Yeah.
He was a big supporter of ours for a little bit there. So yeah.
Can you tell us about the album for people that haven't heard it?
Yeah, it's essentially it's all the different cover songs that we've done either for different compilations for various artists. Like there was one for the Runaways did one, and we did Cherry Bomb, and there was an NME one that about the Cure. I think it was NME. That we did the primary for. So there's a bunch of those that have that are kind of all over the place. Some people don't know they exist, some do. There were some B-sides. There was like some tracks that were never released. They're just kind of in the vault. They're, some are mixed, some are rough mixes, some are really rough mixes. But it's essentially everything that we had access to cover-wise since we left Capitol Records.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. There's a bunch more cover songs. We could have made the fourth side of the double record.
Sure.
If we had all the ones that Capitol has the rights to.
Right, they own the right. Right. Okay.
Do you have a favorite one on the album at all?
God, I don't think there's a favorite. You know what? Actually, there kind of is. I really like the Gang of Four one. What we all want. And there's still little things that piss me off about it. But whatever, beside the point. It's still kind of my favorite one. Also, the Damned love songs came out really good. I'm super happy for that too.
Yeah, it's cool.
What's the Michael Jackson Blackbird story? Is that?
It's just a lyric Courtney put into a song on Monkey House, and not thinking anything of it. It was that the whole thing about Michael Jackson owning the publishing rights to the Beatles.
Yeah.
Right.
So
I don't know the true story about that. I don't think anybody does, but it was just a funny thing to say and put in a song, and then
so the lyrics something like when Michael Jackson dies, we're going to cover Blackbird. That's like
we're covering Blackbird. And literally the day he died, I got phone calls. And I'm like, shit. I don't know how to play that song.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we did a really weird version.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Yeah.
That's a great lyric, though.
Yeah. All right. Can you take us back to the very beginning then? Were you in bands at school and stuff like that?
I was in a band in high school.
Right.
Yeah. Funnily enough, Courtney was the one who kind of put me into it. I had met him through a friend of mine who had briefly kind of played with him. Or no, he played with him later. Sorry, after that. But it was the guitar players of Courtney's band's younger brother's band, and they needed a guitar player, and he knew I had a guitar.
Sure.
That's about all you need back in those days.
Yeah.
And so I joined up with them. It was just my senior year in high school, so it was just it just lasted a year. And I like.
What was the band called? We like early band names on this podcast.
We had a bunch of different names, but the one we ended up with was the Dilemma Sect.
Ooh.
Yeah, pretty good.
Not bad at all.
And I like to say we were Portland's first goth band. I have no proof that we were, or
sure.
But I like to say that.
Yeah.
And we weren't all that goth, but we tried.
Sure. Okay, so you and Courtney were friends from school.
Yeah, kinda. I became aware of him, let's put it that way, at a music camp one summer. He was, it was sort of for, like big band and symphony music camp kind of thing.
You're gonna have to explain music camp to us Brits. What's a music camp?
Over the summer, it's like for 2 weeks, we went and essentially studied music.
Wow.
It was at a university, that wasn't being used over the summer. So we lived in dorms and just had various different music classes, and then there were these big. I played saxophone, so I was big in the band, not the orchestra.
Right. Yeah.
And so you rehearse, and then at the end of 2 weeks, there's a performance, and you play 30 minutes or so, 30-minute, 45-minute show.
That's cool, though.
Yeah. And Courtney was he was a drummer before he became the singer. And so he was the percussionist, and he was by far the coolest person there.
Right.
And he was only there the 1 year. I went back in a number of years because it was super fun. And then a few years later, the band that Courtney was in played at a school dance of ours at my school, and that's when my good friend met him.
Okay.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And so when you started putting the band together, did you have a vision? Did you know what kind of music you wanted to make?
For the Dandies?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we wanted to be, we were listening to, God, the Manchester and shoegaze stuff. We just all,
Okay.
we didn't think of it as different. It was all just music. It was all just good music.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's early '90s, late '80s stuff from the UK.
Yeah.
And it wasn't grunge, and so that was
No.
good. Because
Oh.
Okay.
Portland's version of grunge was pretty miserable. I'll probably get into that.
Grunge is miserable, though, isn't it? Grunge is
Yeah,
miserable. That's
and
the point, isn't it?
we were having fun, and so
No, not allowed. No.
and dressing up and just sort of
No.
goofing and being silly and
Yeah.
So we were kind of like it was not that we were trying to copy anything directly. I mean, we did have a song called Ride.
Right.
Sure.
We did like name our influences pretty much in song titles, more than one thing.
Yeah.
And I also had a friend of mine had given me a cassette of like the sort of a compilation of T-Rex songs on one side and Velvet Underground songs on the other side, and
That's cool.
that got played a lot, and so that was definitely one of the building blocks, as well as there was a Stereolab. We saw a show here in Portland when they came through that was pretty mind blowing.
Yeah.
That was a big influence.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Was it easy to access that kind of shoegaze, like the UK shoegaze music and stuff at that time?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Right.
And there was a couple cool record stores, so we could find stuff. But right before we started the band, I was living in New York. I'd gone to school there and then stuck around for a year after that, and so I had access to a lot more, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
was able to see, a lot of bands when they were really young. I saw Blur in a tiny little club,
Oh, man.
and got it on the first album.
Oh,
so,
wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the Charlatans a number of times, and
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Why do you think you were drawn to that kind of that UK sound rather than the grunge that was going on in your backyard?
More, I think the songwriting, and just sort of the harmony, more than I don't know. I've never been into the sort of the angsty stuff.
Right.
I definitely. I mean, I definitely liked Nevermind when it came out.
Yeah.
Definitely like more the poppier songwriting
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
there's
just a pop record, isn't it? Really.
It's a brilliant record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And and I saw them once, actually opening for the Chili Peppers.
Oh, wow. How was that?
Huge show.
Yeah.
First too, which was even funnier.
Yeah.
Right.
That was the '90s, the early '90s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's cool. Yeah. So when did you start playing around town and stuff like that? Was like mid '90s?
It's like 94 is in January '94 was our first show, and so we kind of I think we were playing like definitely every month in the beginning, and then it got so it was like every twice a month, and then sometimes 3 times a month. And we used to play quite a lot. We had nothing else to do. Literally
How were those?
practice and play shows. It's like
How were
Yeah.
how were those gigs? Was there a good like local community there or?
At first, you know, it was you playing for the other bands and
Right, yeah.
the
Been there.
Yeah.
regulars at the bar, you know.
Mm.
Uh, but we kind of lucked into this thing. Um, do you remember that movie Swingers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I do
So
remember
the
it.
whole lounge culture thing started up like immediately after that. And there was a
Yeah.
little lounge that opened up, and our friends got asked to play it,
Mm.
and they asked us to be you know, to open up for them. And
Right.
we were like, okay, lounge, we're gonna play everything like soft and quiet and slow. And so we did that, and somehow it connected with
Yeah.
that scene. And so we became
Right.
kind of the house band at this lounge, the 1201 lounge. Um,
Wow.
and then at the end we would get up and play, you know, we'd play something fast and the whole place would
Sure.
turn into a dance party.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that kind of helped us we springboarded off of that.
Mm.
I've forgotten all about that film. It's a great film. I've
Yeah.
forgotten all about
And
it.
that whole, I mean, it's so funny though. There was a whole, I mean, there were features there was a newspaper ad or articles about lounge culture.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
How much did you get involved with the playing naked thing that some of your other band members were into?
my shirt would come off every once in a while.
Sure.
But nah, it always felt a little awkward for me. Um,
Yeah.
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 not, I don't know. I was super, had super bad stage fright for the first few shows. So,
Right.
Mm.
first show I got far too drunk and plugged my pedals in backwards and took it
Oh,
felt
wow.
like 30 minutes to figure it out, but it couldn't have been that long.
No.
Yeah.
No.
But yeah, so yeah, getting up on stage and like taking clothes off, nah.
Yeah. The last thing you need is that on top of everything else, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. What was the thinking behind that for the others? Just to stand out as a band?
Uh, Zia, I don't know. She's always kind of been like that, so it just was natural for her.
Yeah.
Well,
And nobody really made a big deal out of it for so long.
no.
And
Yeah.
so until we started getting a little of attention, like kind of by Melody Maker and the Enemy, and then
Mm.
Yeah.
and there were photographers just waiting for her.
Right.
And then
Right.
and
Of
then
course,
she's
yeah.
like, "No, that's it."
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah. That's the way. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Um. So, well, the first album, yeah, we talked about it a little bit. So that was kind of pretty shoegazy, right? Like you say, the first album, those influences are right there.
Yeah. I I mean, we tried. I think we weren't good enough to really emulate what we were trying to emulate very well. So it comes off
Right.
as more original, maybe.
Right.
By
Sure.
accident.
But I mean, we, you know, it's like we really barely knew. Like Zia didn't know how to play an instrument at all, pretty much coming in, and
Yeah.
Courtney had been
Yeah.
a drummer, and he had to learn how to play guitar standing up. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So we kept everything very very simple, and
Mhm.
so and that's kind of the trick of how we ended up sounding maybe better than or more put together than we were. It's just like
Mhm.
Right.
super simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then keeping the song simple too. It's like uh kind hardly ever is there more than two parts to a Dandy song.
Mm.
Every
Mm.
once in a while there's a third part. Or
Right. Okay. You're feeling
Is that still
adventurous.
true now?
a little less so.
Mm.
Definitely the last you know, last record, Rock Makers, got some
Mm.
slightly more complex stuff.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's enough to get you noticed. So you signed to a major label for the second one. Did you have any kind of indie kid apprehensions about signing to a
No.
major?
That
No.
I didn't know anything about that. I mean,
Right.
I just thought that you put out a record on an indie label and then then you get signed to a major label. That was the path.
Sure.
So yeah, it was just what you were supposed to do.
Yeah.
Makes sense,
really.
really.
I mean, I think it's for what we were, the kind of music we were playing in Portland. I mean, it seemed to make sense that that's what we were doing. If I think if we had signed to an indie label initially that had more, was a bigger, had a more distribution, or helped more, then maybe we would have stuck it out. But I mean, come on, Capitol Records.
Yeah.
And there was a little bit of a bidding war on us, so it's like we had kind of all the majors, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
So,
That's all right.
At least poking around, if not buying us dinner and flying us to New York or LA.
Yeah. Amazing.
Those two-part songs are working well for you.
I know. Yeah, it's so strange. I mean, it happened pretty quick too. It's like, we'd been a band like maybe 6 months from our first performance.
Oh wow.
That's really
we were signed to an indie label, and then the year after that we're signed to a major.
Still quick.
Yeah.
That's quick. Yeah,
man.
Well, you say it was working well for you, but they rejected the album that you gave them, right?
That's the story, and that's actually it's not actually true.
Okay, what happened?
We thought that'd be funny to put in our press kit, our press release.
Right.
So we went in and recorded a record, the Black album.
Yeah.
It's available now in its unfinished, glory. But so we went in and spent a month doing that. And it was during this crazy flood that was happening in Portland. And so both Zia and Eric, our first drummer, stopped showing up to the studio. But Courtney and I lived close enough to walk. So we just didn't even know what was going on. It was just raining. And so we were just experimenting and, making cool sounds. And ultimately we were just kind of not happy with the results. And so we kind of decided to scrap it and start again. And then and went back to the same studio that we did the first record in, with the same kind of engineer producer. And so, and then made that silly comment in our press release, and that's forever.
It sounds cool though, right? It sounds.
But we thought it was funny, and we didn't know that things like that have a habit of following you forever.
Yeah. And the second album is it was on the list of Britpop albums that aren't British. It's kind of got that Britpoppy thing to it. Again, was that something that you were listening to? You said that Blur and Charlatans and stuff like that.
Sure, yeah, and I don't think. I mean, I think most of what became Britpop we didn't really know about, because a lot of those bands didn't make it over here. But I mean, Oasis for sure. And that the first record was fantastic. I mean, I mean, we opened up for them the second time they played in Portland. But the first time they were in, I gave Noel our demo tape.
Wow!
And before we did our first record, or at least before it came out. Can't remember the exact timing. But and then we opened up for them the second time they came through.
Wow!
Did you get to hang out with them at all, the Gallaghers?
No.
That's a shame.
I think we kind of almost backed into Liam when we were when we were pulling into the venue, and then
you nearly run him over.
Well, yeah, we almost ran him over, And then Ziek was kind of making fun of him during their sound check. I didn't think that went over very well. And then we stole a bottle of wine from their dressing room. So yeah,
Right. Okay.
Not best friends.
No. I think they like us okay now. Or
Yeah.
when we bumped into them over the years, it's been fine. But
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. And yeah, well, massive hit single. Not if you were the last junkie on earth. Did shit get pretty crazy pretty quickly when that was a hit?
It didn't really seem crazy because, I mean, it was being played on MTV, which was a pretty big deal. But we just like, when it came out, we were on tour.
Yeah, right.
We jumped into a van and spent 3 months driving around the country.
Yeah.
And a bunch of that was like chasing some of our favorite bands in tour buses.
Yeah.
I think we played shows with Supergrass, Radiohead,
Okay.
Yeah. Blur,
Wow.
and then did a month with the Charlatans.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Yeah, you're
then
Brit
that
poppers.
and then we
Brit
finally got
poppers.
home after that, and then like 2 weeks later jumped in, like played a show with Corner Shop, I think.
Wow. Great.
And then did another tour with the Long Pigs.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
As our support band. So they were great.
Toured with a who's who of Britpop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like a few months, like, and the next year, early '98, we finally made it over to Europe and did a few shows over. We did like Paris, London, and Amsterdam. As our first little teaser. And the Amsterdam gig is where I met Chris Ollie.
Oh wow! Oh great!
6x7. Yeah, it was this weird little. It was called London Calling Festival. Just a bunch of bands, and the only band that we liked was 6x7.
Great band.
Who else was there that you didn't like?
Catatonia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't. Earl Brutus was there, but
I love Earl Brutus.
But I didn't see them, so I they were great. We bumped into them.
Terrifying. Yeah. He looked like Begbie at a train spot. Just actually looked like he was just gonna glass you at any second. Yeah.
I'm sure there were some other ones there, but I can't.
Wow. Yeah. And then the next Bohemian Like You, the huge hit. Again, were you aware that it was this massive hit in the UK and Europe, everywhere, right?
Yeah. Well, the first time when it was initially released, it was our first single to not be in the top 40.
Oh,
really?
Yeah. Godless had come out before it, and it done better. And then it came out, it just nah. And we were told, Courtney claims, I don't know if it's true, he claims he was told by like some programmer, I think at BBC, that rock music was over. Never going to go anywhere. 1 year later, and it's like in the top 5. So, but that's kind of thanks to the Vodafone ad. I mean, it really got our music in front of people that actually liked it. And it was re-released, and that worked out.
Yeah. How did it feel to be a proper rock star with screaming fans and all of that?
I mean, pretty great, definitely.
Sure.
It's like it was always kind of, at that. Everything kind of always happened when we were just about ready for it. Ready for another, the next level. So, it felt good. That part didn't, like, the audience that just found us through that song, a lot of them didn't stick with us.
Right.
Right.
So
Okay.
by the
Yeah.
time Monkey House came out, they kind of started falling away.
Mm.
Yeah.
Kind of leveled out after that. But before it went massive, we'd gotten a little nod from David Bowie that thought we were okay.
Wow.
That's all right.
And so we were at that
That's
point,
all
we
right.
didn't care. We were like,
Yeah.
he likes
Who
us.
gives a shit?
What's
Yeah.
wrong with everybody else? Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah. How was hanging out with Bowie? Was he as
Um,
cool in real life as he looks?
there were, yes, for sure. He was super, super nice. He was super easy to talk to. Instantly starts asking questions and makes you feel at ease.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's a cool
he
guy.
was right in the middle of that, where I don't know, he was very, very busy. So it's like we didn't like interact all that often.
Yeah, was that when he was going through his like industrial phase? Was that?
No, it was after that. It was after that.
Just
It was
after that.
It was on the reality album.
Yeah.
And but yeah, we took him and his band out to dinner in Vienna, and he had recently quit smoking, so he was sitting at the non-smokers table, which was
Right.
me and my wife and Bowie and Coco and a
Nice.
couple other people. And so yeah, we just had a very much more intimate,
Yeah.
nice
Cool.
dinner with him. Talked about books. He reads just constantly. So
Yeah. Found it enormous.
Yeah. And you played with him on stage as well, right?
at the Meltdown Festival,
Yeah.
he curated. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Must have been quite a moment. Yeah.
Yeah. Which one? We did a Velvet Underground song. Maybe Waiting for the Man.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Played with Bowie.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
things.
Yeah. Did having a big hit, did it make you rich? Did you get a lot of money from the record company?
From the record company? No.
Yeah.
Well, they were, those days they were handing out large portions of money, but it
all had to come back though, didn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And we pay them back from the dollar per CD we sold,
Yeah.
But the Vodafone ad, part of that money goes to pay them back. So we recouped quite quickly. Because of that one song, we were kind of always recouped.
Oh wow,
yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So yeah, that was fine. But no, there was never huge amounts of money. Courtney, songwriter on that song, so he did quite well.
Sure.
He bought the building that we have our studio in. So
yes, yeah,
cool, man.
kind of him doing that kind of set us up to be, to operate at a nice level when
that's cool.
longer on.
It's a great position to be.
It's almost like buying your independence or buying your autonomy, right? Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
And like after that record for Monkey House, we went and bought our own equipment, and then the auditorium, same thing. We used our budget to buy more equipment. So we were surprisingly smart.
I was going to say that's very sensible.
Yeah, somehow we made the few of the right decisions.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. But did that affect the sound of the band if you were suddenly playing in these? You've had thousands of dollars of studio equipment and recording equipment and time. Did that make you more polished?
And no time. There's no deadline all of a sudden. So
right. Yeah.
That definitely became a problem.
Right. Okay.
Whereas, so Come Down took about 2 weeks to record.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
That's the first album. Yeah.
Then a couple of weeks of fucking around, and then mixed in like a week or something like that.
Yeah.
13 Tales took about 2 months to record.
Okay.
1 month of full on, and then another month of like kind of fucking around.
Yeah.
And then
Reasonable amount of time.
Yeah.
Reasonable. Monkey House took a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
A bit longer.
Yeah.
And there's 2 different versions of it. So it's like, we mixed it
Right.
twice.
Okay.
And Auditorium took easily another year to record, like over like probably a year and a half to record.
Wow.
Right. Okay.
We had our own. That's when we had our own space.
Yeah.
We didn't have the building yet when we were recording.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And it's still like, I mean, having your own. That's the problem. Like, there's no deadline, so you're not up against.
Yeah.
So you know,
a blessing and a curse, I guess, isn't it? Yeah.
It is. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I miss that. I loved the intensity of those. Like 13 Tales was it was super intense for a month. Of pretty much every day, easily, 8 hours to 10 hours straight.
Yeah.
Doing stuff, trying to come up with cool shit.
Yeah.
But it's exhausting. And I don't Courtney definitely doesn't like working that way.
Okay. He doesn't.
That's why he bought his own studio, so he didn't have to fuck around.
Yeah. Tell us about that. It's the auditorium. Am I saying that right? It looks a really cool place, man. It looks great.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely set up more as a hangout spot than a studio. The kind of the studio part came almost like second. In fact, the first, when we did Auditorium, we had the control room in a different spot, and then decided to move it into the, I don't know, the big hangout room. We just turned that into the control room. And so 'cause it's, I don't know, it's more comfortable. But we do have a really, we thought we were going to probably turn it into a performance space too, but all the local laws about that stuff just no good. So too much of a hassle. So like, there's no way we're going to get past any of the inspections. But do we have we have a room that would probably it easily fits probably 500 people.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's huge.
And a stage that matches that. It's like, that was the kind of the one thing when that room was being done. It's like I insisted on the stage being kind of like a festival size stage, so we could get used to, like rehearsing on that, essentially.
Yeah, it's a good
right.
That's a good idea.
Rehearse the way you play.
Yeah. Again, very sensible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, we have to ask about Dig, the documentary. Yeah. I mean,
the other day.
It's amazing. Yeah. I mean, how much do you remember about when they were filming it? Were you kind of aware that what was going on?
Well, I mean, initially it wasn't going to be a movie.
No.
Or maybe, okay, sorry. Initially it was going to be like a documentary on, I don't know, 7 to 15 different bands that were all kind of starting out. And
right, yeah.
And I think when the filmmaker met Anton, all of a sudden it became, it's going to be about Anton, the Jonestown, and then he's the one that brought us in on it. And so then it was going to become about us, and they tried to shop it to MTV to do like a weekly half-hour show, and then VH1 for like a weekly, monthly, 1-hour show, and those fell through. And kind of at that point, we just went, yeah, they're just following us around. It's like,
Yeah.
it's never going to turn anything, whatever. Didn't really think about it. And, they would show up here and there and film stuff. And,
Yeah, it's an amazing bit of film, it really is.
yeah, it's a weird one because it's like we really wanted it to be about the making of music.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
the
it's not really that, is it?
no. And it's more this partially made up rivalry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah, but whatever.
Yeah.
You think it's exaggerate? The film exaggerates the rivalry between
Oh,
Anton
absolutely.
and Courtney. Yeah. Yeah.
I think more than anything, like Courtney was I assume they were both inspired by each other, but
Yeah.
definitely in the
Yeah,
early
that's
days,
funny.
Courtney was definitely inspired by Anton's writing, and they definitely hung out a bunch, and yeah, it definitely affected the way we played for sure. But I think ultimately we weren't the band that they thought we were. It's like
Okay.
we were never like pure 60s revivalist kind of thing. It's like that's not what we were inspired by. We were inspired by everything.
Yeah.
So we went in different directions pretty quick.
Yeah. I don't know. It did seem like a pretty chaotic and fucked up kind of thing going on around Anton, though. Did you feel that when you were around the band?
Yeah, I mean a little bit. It's like they were chaotic and fucked up.
Oh man, it
But
was,
the shows were amazing. The music was
that's I mean, the guy's obviously talented, right? But
yeah.
well, the band,
And
but
in the early days, it's like
okay.
the drugs hadn't like taken over completely.
Yeah.
They're definitely around. But
Yeah.
the dark period came later. And I don't know. It's like we definitely I don't know. I think there's a lot of miscommunication that created some bad blood, and then
Yeah.
it kind of got exaggerated in the film.
Sure.
How were do you still speak to the band now, or?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like right after the pandemic, after every European tour, I would go hang out with Anton in Berlin for
Cool.
days, and I don't know. I just wanted to go record with him, like not do like help him record whatever. If I could be of any assistance, and just hang out. And that was it was super fun.
Yeah.
And we go see them whenever they're in town.
Yeah, that's cool.
He's doing all right these days, right, Anton? He's doing okay now?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, he had that heart attack, which was pretty scary, but he's definitely seems to be recovering from that, and seems to be doing well. I've only seen him a couple times since then, so they'll just hear from friends of friends and stuff.
Yeah. When the documentary did come out and it got this massive reaction, were you surprised?
Yeah, but there was a backlash that we kind of suffered from right away.
Really?
Okay.
But Dandy Warhols come out of it really well, though, I think.
Yeah, but if you read the reviews of Auditorium in Spin Magazine and Rolling Stone, if I remember right, they don't review the record. They review their opinion of essentially Courtney.
Right.
And so it's like, it's like there was an instant backlash. And, it's like that was the time the press was going to turn on us anyway. And that was just fodder. So, yeah, it was a little disappointing. And like later on, you hear more of the positive stuff from people who found us through the film.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it really, I mean, it helped and hindered Anton quite a bit too. It's like,
Yeah.
yes, it brought him to kind of the public's perception, but they showed up expecting him to, have a freak out every night.
Right.
He's,
Yeah.
a punch
It
up
was
on
kind of
stage
not
every
about the
night.
music at first, and
Yeah.
luckily that calmed down, because it was some of the shows that I saw of Jonestown after Dig came out were, God, it was horrible. Just people heckling him.
Right.
Trying to get a
Just
reaction.
spurring him on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's hard.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So when did you get off the major label train? How soon was that?
It was that 2006 or something.
Oh, okay.
Auditorium was our last record on Capitol.
Mm.
Yeah, the funny thing is like that was our contract. Like, they had that many records that we had to give them, and then there was like an option for 2 more. And
Okay. Yeah.
they agreed to the option, which means they had to give us a bunch of money when they let us go.
Okay.
Nice.
And
Yeah.
we were one of those bands that we were recouped with them. So like, whatever, almost as soon as they gave us the initial that money to go away,
Yeah.
they one of the quarterly payments came from them, and it's like if they had agreed to keep us,
Yeah.
they would have not have to have paid us that money to go away,
Right.
or that quarterly, because we then
Okay.
instantly been in debt to them again. So
Right.
so it was really this kind of silly situation. But yeah, some new president came in, and they decided that any band that hadn't sold 100,000 records on the last record was gone.
We hear this story
Oh,
a lot.
wow.
Yeah, just people coming in that don't know what they're doing, just like
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, okay, we're definitely not going to sell that many records, and it's of course just the United States. That's all they're thinking about.
Wow.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. It's just short-sighted. But that's normal.
Yeah, but then I mean, major labels are bastards, but they do have support and distribution. They do help, right? So, well, it must have been difficult to go out on your own after that.
Yeah, we were convinced that all we had to do was put a record out, and that everybody.
It's not so simple, right?
They would just hear about it,
Yeah,
of course.
buy it. The same amount of people would buy it that bought our last record.
Just carry on same way we always have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We kind of started our own label and just found a distribution company, and that didn't go very well.
Well, you need to put the work in, right? It doesn't just go out there.
We quickly learned what Capitol Records had done for us.
Sure.
Yeah.
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 The machine that they have behind, even the bands they ignore is it's impressive.
They've just got the network sorted, haven't they?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if we hired a publicist. I mean, we just didn't need.
Didn't know. You don't know, yeah.
Just put the record out. Right?
Just make a record, and it will magically appear everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a shame, because I think that record, Earth 2, the Dandy Warhols, was a pretty good record, and probably would have done quite well if Capitol had been behind it.
Right.
It had some songs that maybe would have, I don't know, nothing was going to be Bohemian again.
Such a behemoth of a song, wasn't it?
Yeah, but there was something that people might have caught on to.
Yeah.
You say that, but do you think that you could have, or Courtney could have, written another Bohemian like it if they wanted to? I always get the impression that Dandy Warhols kind of could if they wanted to, but they're just not bothered. I don't know.
There's definitely a little bit of that. It's like, it's more like, I've done that, I'm going to do something else now. it's, what Capitol Records really wanted after 13 Tales was 13 Tales Part
13
2.
Tales 2. Yeah.
And
yeah.
we were
course.
not going to do that. There was no way.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do we do? Record a record with next to no guitars.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Right at the time when, the Strokes and White Stripes, massive.
Yeah.
And it was all about
Yeah.
guitar bands are back.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Not you guys.
no,
Not you guys.
our timing is impeccable.
You got to respect that, though. You got to respect that. Yeah. You mentioned the previous album, Rockmaker. That's some pretty cool collaborations on there, right? Slash and Debbie Harry. How did they come about? And did you get to meet them in person?
Oh no, unfortunately not. I mean, we bumped into Slash at festivals and stuff, and I guess Courtney's kind of sort of buddies with him a little bit, or at least some of the Guns N' Roses camp.
Wow.
Right.
Debbie Harry was just a I don't know, it's just a long shot. Our manager at the time, heard Courtney's falsetto part on that song and was like, "You should get." Who did he say first? I think he said Susie Sue.
Right. Wow.
And I'm like, Susie Sue will never never sing on a Dandy song. But maybe Chrissy Hynde, Debbie Harry, Nina Hagen. I just went on, I don't know, 80s women, who were fantastic, and every one of them would be amazing. And then Debbie Harry. Holy shit.
That sounds great. Yeah.
Yeah, that was something on my bucket list that I didn't know was there.
Yeah.
Sure.
Pretty cool.
Sure.
Have Debbie Harry sing on a song that I wrote the music to.
Wow. Yeah.
That's cool.
That's very cool. Yeah. Yeah. You also do Pete International Airport, is that right? Is that like a different outlet from the band?
Yeah, it started with so I was coming up with just I don't know, in the past, Courtney, anytime he heard me play something that he was interested in, he would go, "Okay, play that again." And then all of a sudden there'd be a song. It was kind of like one per record on the first few records of one of those. But he kind of stopped doing that. And so I had this backlog of things I thought were cool, and I don't know, I just needed to I had to learn how to use Pro Tools and learn how to record and stuff all by myself to finally get it done. But it's kind of just a project where I get to do whatever the fuck I want, and I get to find whoever I can to to sing on them. And
is it just you in that massive room making all these tunes?
What massive room?
Is it just
no,
in the big room?
Me in this little
you don't use
room.
that. Right.
Who have you got to sing on the tracks?
Well, my friend Jason Adams, who I work with in Sun Adams as well. He was the singer for the first record. I initially wanted I was reaching out to all these Portland bands to see if people wanted, and nobody else stepped up. Only Jason did, and he kind of inspired me to turn it into a full record and not an EP. And
that's cool.
And then the second record, since I had made a record, I actually could go, "Hey, look, I've done something. Do you want to be a part of this next one?"
Yeah.
And so I got Robert from Black Rebel to sing on a song. Wow. And Alec from Black Angels is on another one. And my friend Lisa from Dark Horses. They're a very, very cool band. She sings on a song, and she's been on previous records or post records after that too. And then I got Rachel Goswell from Slowdive on the last record.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
She had
Back
posted
back to the beginning, to the shoegaze roots.
yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
Which there's a funny story of how we found out about Slow Dive. I was at the Tower Records in Manhattan, in the, I don't know, import section, I guess. And somebody comes up and taps me on the shoulder and asks if I was in Slow Dive. Because I had the same haircut, I think, the
Sure.
kind of bowl cut. And I was like, no. Like, but what is Slow Dive?
There you go.
That's great.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. And yeah, it's just kind of I don't know. I hear people's voices that I like, and I reach out to them, see if they want to
Yeah.
sing on songs.
Mhm.
And I got a song to Hope Sandoval, but
Oh, wow.
Wow.
that
Yeah.
unfortunately never happened. And
Oh, no.
there's a couple other things that haven't happened or didn't happen. Maybe will, maybe
Yeah.
won't.
Sure.
Yeah, never say never.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's amazing. But I knew Rachel had posted a picture of my record, so I knew she knew about it.
Yeah.
So that was my in. And then I
Mm.
had a song that was like, oh, this could be good.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool. That's cool.
That's cool. That is cool.
So 32 years in, what's the secret of longevity? Is it just like you say, you're just sensible? Or
Oh no, there's the band itself is not sensible. It's
okay.
Okay.
we're definitely a lot of like, I don't know. There's some crazy egos and some crazy bullshit that happens. But for some reason we kind of managed to ignore the little stuff and,
Yeah.
and stick it out.
Yeah.
There's something that happens when we get together and get on stage that's really good and
Yeah.
easy and fun. A lot of the business side and all the in between stuff is definitely awkward and
Yeah. And
frustrating.
I don't think many bands like that side of it, do they? That's just the nitty
Yeah,
gritty stuff.
but
Yeah.
I know it's like all the side projects for me is what kind of allows me to be able to come back
Yeah.
and just appreciate
Yeah.
it for what it is and
Yeah. Having your own
okay.
outlet as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Can you
Sounds like you're
foresee
good
a time where the Dandy Warhols doesn't exist, or you're not in the band?
I don't know. I mean, there's days definitely where I'm like, I'm just done. And I know
Yeah.
I know Courtney's felt that way. I don't know about the other two, but it's definitely, I mean, it can get really frustrating.
Yeah.
But you know, then it's like all of a sudden, like, a festival offer pops up, or or something
Yeah.
else exciting pops up, and you're like, fuck yeah.
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 But,
Yeah.
yeah, because
That's
it's
great.
it's great. It's amazing.
Yeah,
I
it's great. You still got the
know it's like
fire.
we've
That's
been
good.
incredibly lucky, and so many times to be able to do this.
Yeah.
Because there's definitely people who are much better musicians, um, you know, that are out there and have had nothing. So it's
Yeah.
there's definitely a huge amount of luck, and you have to appreciate that and work hard to keep it going.
Sure.
Yeah, it's good
Sure.
attitude.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we've got one final question, if that's okay, that we ask everyone. Neil, over to you.
Right. Yeah. So we asked all our guests that come on. If you could have been in any other band in the 90s, who would it have been and why?
I was obsessed with Primal Scream.
Oh,
wow.
good answer.
I know that I would have survived that.
Oh, no one would have.
I mean, I tried keeping up sometimes with some other bands, and yeah,
Yeah.
that was
I'm surprised
that
any
was
of Primal
hard
Scream
work.
made it through.
But
Yeah.
there was
Yeah.
like when they did Vanishing Point, and
Mm.
that was the record that just blew my mind. I didn't
Oh,
understand.
interesting.
Hadn't heard
Yeah.
that before.
That's great.
And then Exterminator and Evil Heat after that.
Yeah.
It's like that period
Yeah.
for me is just
That's
one of my
interesting.
Yeah.
favorite 3 records by any band.
People forget about that period of Primal Scream. I really like that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And kind of Vanishing Point and Evil Heat, like Exterminator gets more attention, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Vanishing Point for me was just like, I remember we were doing a radio session, and the DJ played Kowalski.
Yeah.
Mm.
I was both me and Eric, our first drummer, like just kind of ran into the control room and like, what the fuck?
Mm.
Yeah.
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 In fact,
That's a great answer.
that three show trip, the first time, or that time we came over to Europe,
Mm.
I made our bus drive to Birmingham when it was on the way. I think it was on the way back to Amsterdam, but I made it drive out away to Birmingham to go see Primal Scream.
Oh, wow. Okay. What tour was that?
That's
What was that?
That was the Vanishing Point too.
That Adventure Point tour, right. Yeah.
And I was very confused by the extra guitar player that was up on stage. And then when I found out later that it was Kevin Shields, my mind was truly blown.
Yeah. That's great. That's a brilliant answer. Yeah.
It is a brilliant answer. Yeah.
All right. Thanks very much. Anything to anything else to plug so people can listen to the new covers album anywhere, right?
I believe the problems with getting it on the streaming services has been fixed, so it should be available everywhere. Yeah, that's there. Dandies are working on a new record. So,
tell us about that.
It's kind of a reaction to Rockmaker, so it's the opposite direction. So the idea is slower and quieter. And
I saw that that album being accused of being new metal. It's not new metal. Don't worry about that. But that's no.
It was. I mean, we were definitely inspired by, rock. And,
I thought he was going to say like Papa Roach.
Writing through riffs instead of just chords and melodies and stuff.
Right.
Yeah. Which was really, really fun. So yeah, this is the idea is that this is the opposite of that.
So how's that going to be manifested? In what way? More melody?
I don't know. It's more parts together.
Less parts.
Less parts. Longer, slower. I don't know. More reverb. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
It's gonna be different, and it's probably gonna upset people. Or not. Maybe it just get ignored.
Bowie would have liked it, so who gives a fuck? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then working on another PIA record, but that will probably take another year or two.
Sure. At your own pace.
Standard.
Yeah. Standard. Sun Adams will probably have another record out early next year. That's a super fun project.
What's that one?
Sounds exciting.
Sun Adams.
Okay, tell us about that.
So my friend Jason Adams, who was the singer on the first international record. During the pandemic, I started helping him do a solo record, which he titled under the project name Sun Adams. Then he put a band together, and I decided to be the bass player in that band.
Oh wow!
And it turned into something that was super fun. It's a really, really good collection of odd musicians, like
cool, man.
all over the place. And then we did we done the record, the first record of the band, was the last one, and now we're working on our kind of second and probably third record.
Great.
Yeah, and it's like I don't know, the songwriting part is so easy. It's like somebody starts playing something, everybody else just jumps on it, and all of a sudden we have another song.
Yeah, cool.
Um,
Yeah.
It's really, really inspiring to work with a group of musicians like that.
That's great.
Mm.
Sounds like you got loads going on. That's good.
Oh yeah, and then of course the project with Chris Ollie too.
Oh, tell us about that.
Oh, we don't
Did he
know
not?
nothing.
He didn't talk about that.
I don't think so.
Walls of Dada.
Okay,
Did he?
go on.
I don't
Yeah,
think
maybe.
so.
Tell us more.
Okay, that's we had been talking for years about doing something, and finally he came up with a concept that worked. The idea was that we were gonna be this band from the mid '80s that kind of got somehow just ignored. So there's only
Sure.
like 4-track recordings.
Okay.
So he would record like a drum machine and a synth and a vocal part and send it to me. And I would try and keep it to, just 2 tracks or something. I would record like some guitar, bass, or something, and then send it back to him, and it was done. And
Right.
so
Right.
the first record, first and second records, we did like that.
And it's just you two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, so yeah, we've done. I don't even know how many records we've done at this point, like 5 or something.
Wow. Yeah.
They're so quick. It's the opposite of every other project. It's like
Sure.
instantaneously, like, okay, done.
Yeah.
Chris makes a lot of
The
albums.
most prolific man in rock.
Yeah, I know. Well, he we did a session at Rockfields a few years ago. We were there for a weekend, and we had his son playing drums, and
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
we just spent 2 days recording. And what do? We release a 4 CD set of the whole thing.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's pretty. I don't know. It's just so fun because it's just so spur of the moment. And we've done.
He's a great guy as well, Chris.
Yeah.
He's a great
We've done
guy.
like three shows as the band. I think 3. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Where it's like just made up on the spot. It's got nothing to do with any of the records. It's just like make it up on the spot.
That's great. That's great. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. We've kept you a long time. I'm going to stop the recording, but don't escape just yet. But thank you so much for coming on. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. It was super fun.
There we go. Pete from the Dandy Warhols. Dave, do you enjoy that? That's a cool guy, isn't he? Cool guy. Wish I was Pete from the Dandy Warhols.
Yeah, I liked him a lot. Yeah. It was good. Good interview, guys. Well done.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, no.
People will be pleased to know I don't have many notes.
Okay. Let's hear him.
Have you got any?
I always like talking about Michael Jackson buying up the Beatle publishing rights.
Okay. It's a good story, isn't it?
It's just so weird, isn't
really
it?
Knows
that
how it happened.
Those two were mates, and then it
he
all went
really
sour
shafted
because
him, didn't he? So they did a few tracks together, and then he basically shafted them. I can't remember the tracks they did together. That The Girl Is Mine, was it, Dave? You said, or
Luke? Thriller.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't
What's
think
the
I knew
other
that. Say is the one I was thinking of
okay.
before. Yeah.
So they hung out a lot. They recorded that song, and then as soon as the Beatles back catalogue came up for sale, Jacko fucking.
But he didn't do anything wrong as such. It was just like, you don't think of Jacko as being a shrewd guy, do you? But he was.
No. Yeah, he didn't do anything wrong.
It's cool that they put that in the lyric. They just randomly put that lyric, and then however many years later,
brilliant.
They have to follow through on it.
So that is an interesting one. That I don't know. Why didn't the Beatles just buy them? It's not like they couldn't afford them, was it?
They don't have as much money as Michael Jackson.
Well,
they got outbid.
Yeah,
is that what it was? Right.
Yeah.
Fucking outbid them for their own stuff. That's not right, is it? That can't be right.
It's capitalism, isn't it? No law was broken.
What's
worse, fucking over Paul McCartney or raping children? We're talking about Michael Jackson, by the way, not Paul McCartney. Yeah.
I was going to say.
Not Paul McCartney.
No.
Yeah, you're right, actually. No, but he did both. Jacko
did do both. He did do both. I'm not sure if they're comparably evil, but yeah.
I don't like McCartney, but I do think he should have the rights to his own music.
Oh, he's brilliant. I say I watched that Man on the Run on Amazon Prime. Oh, it's great. It's all about like
It was brilliant.
As soon as he left the Beatles, like what he did straight after. It's really good. Really good.
Yeah, he was brilliant up to like 84,
cool.
and ever since then he's just been a bit of a knob.
Oh no, I like him recently. He's great.
I think I am quite
double
alone
thumb
in that
smacker.
respect.
He's never put a single thumb up in his life. Can't do it. It's just a reflex action.
He's got a new few songs out, hasn't he?
They'll be awful.
Yes,
they always are.
Yeah.
They always are.
They
awful.
won't. They'll be all right. They won't be great, but
they're
be
all
right.
right.
Knew they would
I've
be.
heard,
That's the thing. Stop doing it. You've helped to write some of the best songs, not in my opinion, but in the world's opinion. You don't need to do any more.
Imagine waking up though and having Yesterday in your head.
Yeah.
That's a bullshit. That's why I don't like him. That's bullshit. You didn't dream
Why
it.
do you not believe
I hate that story.
Mother Mary came to him.
Story. Fuck off. He always talks bullshit. That's why I don't like him.
Why would he lie about it?
Why would you lie about Lane's singers? Same reason. Headlines. Luke, it's not the same reason because you can't think of anything worse than a post getting popular. You hate it.
No, I can't. That's my biggest fear. 2 fears: going bald, going viral.
And now you've got thousands of people hating you.
They'll have forgotten instantly and moved on
like?
to someone else.
I read like 5 or 6 comments.
He got
like,
really
this is
upset.
fucking horrible.
He got really
I did get upset.
I had to talk him down. I say, look,
and I stopped reading the comments.
Don't
I was
take
like,
it
no,
personally, man.
Not for me.
People warriors.
Well, I stopped reading our comments after episode 2 or 3, I think.
You've never read any of our comments. Don't pretend you have.
I have, but I stopped. I think it was the Faith No More episode when we got criticised for that.
Oh, did we?
I haven't read a single comment since.
Music camps. They're good. Yes. They sound great, don't they? Why can't they have those here? They don't even have youth clubs here anymore.
Sounds very middle class, doesn't it?
Because it rains. Because it rains. That might be the reason.
Yeah.
To the weather.
Do you think it is middle class? But I think it might be. It might be. I think like,
it's not going to be free, is it?
From the inner. No, I guess so.
It's not going to be provided by the American state.
No.
Yeah, maybe not. No. I guess not. Yeah.
Maybe.
All right. So it's more of a middle class thing, you think?
It's a good thing, right?
Especially if you're playing like brass instruments and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that's always going to be a middle class thing. Yeah.
They don't really have class in America, though, do they?
Of course
not
they
the
do.
same.
They have it everywhere.
It's more like the caste system there. You know, you just and it's all about how much money you've got.
It is.
I liked when he said that grunge was a bit too miserable for them, so they did sound more British than American, didn't they? Really, at that time, fitted more in there. You can see they did well over here and not over there. You know.
Yeah.
Didn't really embrace that grunge misery. It is miserable music, but if you watch like old grunge interviews and stuff, they're all having a laugh, aren't they? They're having a good time. But
they're probably high, but yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But most grunge, except Nirvana, is very earnest, isn't it? And they're not that.
It's very like that.
Yeah, that's true.
Cool and sarcastic and artistic and whatnot.
Yeah, it wasn't anything like that what they were doing. So I get why it sort of worked over here.
But it was interesting. They were talking. He was saying that it wasn't easy to find that kind of music. So it's kind of like an underground thing for them. They were like the cool kids.
Yeah. Finding music back then's just it's unfathomable now, isn't it? Really, but. The only way you could find music was a record store and music magazines. Yeah. That was it.
Yeah. On the radio, when they had the evening session and stuff, we had all of that, I guess.
Yeah.
But
you were sort of kind of told what music to listen to, right? Back then.
Yeah, there were a few.
It's a bit more autonomous now. It's a bit more autonomous now, but it's a bit too fragmented now. There's no in between, is there? That's what you need.
Yeah.
Well, Enemy, I guess, for us, wasn't it? And stuff like that. John Peel. And you, basically.
Yeah.
For me. It's just you.
Me. Sure.
I just used you to find out what to listen to.
Happy to be of service.
I didn't tend to go to Dave for my music sort of advice.
You should have done. You'd have been a lot happier.
Maybe. Oh, fuck. That reminds me, I didn't talk about Low Fidelity All-Stars. Saw them at Shine On too.
Ah, brilliant. Last week's album of the week, fucking brilliant.
Yeah, they got like a new lineup with some, younger people in it and stuff. It still works. I really enjoyed it. They were great. live drums, all that stuff. It was great. So
nice.
sorry, I forgot to
love to
mention
see them.
on.
No, great. Have you ever seen the film Swingers?
I was going to say,
I had to look up what it was.
I'm not
I have
sure
seen
it was
it
now. Yeah, I've seen it. But
it's the only film I've ever turned off and taken back to the video shop.
In the interview, I said it was a great film, but what I meant to say was it's really a really shit film.
No, everyone loves it. No, people love it.
Vince Vaughn in it, isn't he?
Vince Vaughn. So I remember we got it out like one Saturday after like hungover. Me and my sister Amy and her husband Luke, and we're watching it, and it's just like the most annoying, shittest thing we'd ever seen, and we just turned it off. It's like, back then it's like £4 a night to rent a fucking video, right?
Yeah, once you've got it. That's it.
We just turned it off. It's like walking out of the cinema. I just said, nah, just not watching it. And I finally watched it like about 2 or 3 years ago, and it wasn't so annoying, but it was still pretty bad. Not for me.
Yeah, it's not. Like I say, I regret.
I don't really like Jon Favreau or Vince Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn's all right.
Not going to like that then.
No, I don't like him.
It was good to hear a story about how even the Dandy Warhols early on sort of only played in front of the other band. Makes me feel a bit better.
It's the Main Street. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. That reminds me. How many parts do Main Street songs have? They're saying they only ever have 2 parts.
3.
But Main Street, you had 3 parts in your songs, didn't you?
3 parts.
Can you explain that to me as a non-music guy? I didn't really understand
chorus.
Well, you have different sections of songs. Yeah, verse, chorus.
Okay.
The standard is verse, chorus, middle 8. So you have a verse, chorus, a middle 8. And then a chorus is usually the way most songs go.
A middle 8 means 8 bars in the middle.
Yeah, and
it's with a slightly different melody, different chords.
Different, yeah.
But it's not quite in the middle. It's more towards the end.
Yeah, 2/3 in.
So it's a 2/3 8.
No, because the middle 8's only 8 bars.
Yeah, it's a 2/3 8. It's not in the middle. It's not in the middle though, is it?
It's roughly in the middle.
That's
How about towards the end 8?
Should be
a bit towards the end 8.
You're right.
Is it sometimes called the bridge, or is that just a different thing now?
The bridge sometimes.
So when James Brown says "take it to the bridge," that's what he's demanding.
Yeah,
that's what he wants. And there's something a little bit different, but kind of the same in that bit. But yeah, most songs are quite formulaic in that respect. Yeah, so they probably didn't even have a middle 8. That's what they're saying. It's just verse, chorus, maybe another chorus. But then, and then you've got other bands that just totally don't conform to that at all, and just probably the shit that you listen to, basically, all over the place.
There's no rules, man.
But, even those bands, they probably do stick to that fairly.
They probably do. I just don't notice. Yeah,
it's quite.
But like Ed Sheeran, he often just has 4 chords that just repeat. He still has chorus and verse.
Yeah.
But that's so he can use his loop pedal.
Right. Oh, okay. Yeah.
But that's why his songs get so annoying after a while, because they're so similar.
Another also Shine On, I saw Badly Drawn Boy.
Get him on the podcast. I'd love to have Badly Drawn Boy.
Yeah, it was great, but unfortunately he was in like the stages like where everyone sort of sits and stuff, and it's quite sort of loud and the sound goes everywhere. It's not great. I enjoyed it, but I just think it would have been better off in one of the other rooms, maybe. Right. Yeah, so Dave's fucked off, so we can just slag him off if we want.
Oh,
he's all right, isn't he?
No, we love him. Come on.
I said it in the interview, but they toured with like the who's who of Britpop at the time in the US, didn't they? Like any Britpop band that came over, it seemed like they got like the slot. This is great. Long Pigs,
Supergrass. Yeah, and I guess they fit right in, right? They did have that Britpop-y sound.
And it must have been quite hard to find an American band at the time to do that, right? So they were a dream for the promoters and stuff to put them on with the Britpop band,
That's kind of, they carved out a niche for themselves in that respect, right? It's being like the American Britpop go-to band,
Yeah, brilliant. Accidental, brilliant sort of bit of marketing.
Sure.
Yeah. Right, I got a question for you, right?
Yes, go on.
He was speaking about how him and his wife had dinner with Bowie, right? What would you ask Bowie at the dinner table? Is it Bowie or Bowie? I always get it wrong.
It's Bowie.
Say Bowie. Yeah, so go on. You're sitting there, dinner table, got one question that you can ask Bowie. What would you ask him?
I mean, I think I'd steer clear of the pedo stuff. I've only got one question,
Probably
right?
best. Yeah, probably best.
I probably won't go into the Nazi salute stuff.
Okay, right.
After he did when he came back from Berlin, I wouldn't probably go into that. I think I'd ask him if he's heard Christoph de Babylon's 1997 album. If you're into it, I'm out of it.
Right.
I think Bowie would have loved that record, and I think he knew it. I've got a feeling he knew it because I knew he kept up with that kind of stuff, especially like the underground. So I really want to know his opinion on Christoph de Babylon.
I guess either way, it would have been a delight for you, because if he'd just said yes, you could have chatted about it, and if he just said no, you could have informed him all about it.
Sure. But I know he would have loved it. I know he would. Yeah.
Good answer. So back to Dandies. So getting a song in a big ad, that's the key to any band, right? Get it in.
Is it still? Even now, it must be, right?
Yeah.
It must be.
But I think now it's more, if you get it TikTok viral these days, that's the new advert, right? So if it goes TikTok viral and people start using it on their TikToks and stuff, then that's how music spreads these days, I think. That's the new advert.
It is, but does it pay?
So that's what bands used to. I think it does pay a little bit. TikTok does pay. I'm not, but you don't get, if someone else uses it, I don't think you get, but just driving people to your music, I guess, pays off.
I guess
but you don't get actual revenue on each one, no.
But like, remember when we had Collapse Lung on, and they said that Eat My Gold didn't make them any money, right?
Yeah.
So,
but that was because of the deal they had, I think.
Right.
It's probably making someone money, I would have thought.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And it just made them well known. So, the attendance at their gigs, just, you see it on the Dig documentary, right? The attendance at their gigs just blows up when that advert comes out. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the way, right? If you can get it on an advert or like I say on TikTok.
Oh, mate. If you can get a Main Street tune into someone's TikTok video, you'll be laughing.
The thing is, with all of those things, though, you can't force it, right? Like they're always happy accidents. Someone famous would have chosen your music for something, and you might just be a nobody at the time. I mean, she did have a bit of a following, but I think that's how like Lola Young blew up. That song was everywhere on TikTok and stuff.
Yeah, but
I didn't think you'd like it. I didn't think you'd like it. I'm just using it as an example.
It's another identikit fucking Brit school fucking
Was she the Brit school?
Formulaic shite.
Thing is, she used to look totally different. She used to look like a nondescript sort of singer, like just your standard female artist, nothing special. And then she sort of changed her whole image and stuff. And
I wonder why. Oh man, that Brit school's got a lot to answer for. It's just churning out the same kind of like inoffensive, mediocre fucking shite. Oh, can't stand it.
They're Satan to you, those sort of artists, aren't they?
They really are. It's just a mediocrity I can't stand.
I get it. I was just using it as an example. That's all.
Thank you. It's all right. I apologise for going off on one.
I liked his little chat on how like having no deadlines is a real problem for a lot of bands. I reckon that's how a lot of bands sort of strut when they get a bit of money and they've got like Axl, who took like 15 years to write Chinese Democracy or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just like just dicking about for too long, isn't it?
It is. It's dicking about. Yeah, it's never going to work out well.
No. So if you give someone too much time and lots of money, they ain't going to make good records, are they?
No, they're probably not.
It's unlikely. It's unlikely. Yeah. So I get that. I like what he said about that, how he preferred it when they did have deadlines, because then, got to get this done. Let's get these tunes out sort of thing, rather than just sort of sitting around doing nothing.
Yeah, it just gives this intense creative period, right?
Yeah. But then also, I guess, once you've got those first couple of albums out, which are your life experience up to those albums, right? Then you have to write songs about what's happening.
Which no one gives a fuck if you're writing songs about, no, I had to go on a transatlantic flight, and it was
exactly. And I think that's the difficulty a lot of bands suffer with as well. Is that those first couple of albums are real sort of what their lives were about pre-fame, and then you've got to write about post-fame life. It's a totally different vibe, but you have to try and keep it the same as the old vibe.
I'll tell you who did it well, Eminem.
Right. Yeah, true.
He did it very well. Marshall Mathers LP. A lot of that's about him being famous, and it's that's his best record, right? It's great.
in my opinion, he can do no wrong. Pretty much, Eminem of our lifetime, I think he's probably the biggest musical genius there's been.
He's pretty good, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, even the stuff he slags off himself, I still think's decent. I just think he hasn't really made a bad record.
Yeah.
He's just a lyrical genius.
He's brilliant.
Be great to get him on.
Marshall, if you're listening, come on, mate.
The Dig documentary, we've spoken about it before. It did come up. It was interesting to hear his take on it. It's kind of a blessing and curse, that film, right? For both bands, he said.
Yeah, and he was saying, it was completely exaggerated, which was interesting to hear.
Yeah. I'm not sure if it was exaggerated on Brian's jazz.
No, I think so too.
Thing. I think they were.
I think he meant it.
The whole thing. Yeah,
I think he meant it as well. Yeah,
I think like you said, I think the Dandies came across well in the documentary. Anyway, they didn't really get involved in the whole mudslinging as much, did they?
No, they didn't.
It's such a good film, man.
The rivalry was in Anton's head, man. I don't know.
Everything was in Anton's head. That's the thing.
Yeah. But interesting guy. Man. Interesting guy.
Yeah, I like the music, man. I just he reminded me a bit of, although even he wasn't that chaotic, like Pete Doherty when he went through his heroin sort of phase, where he was a bit off the wall and chaotic.
But he didn't have that kind of Messiah complex thing going on like Anton. Yeah.
It was quite sad though to hear Pete talking about how those gigs after the film come out, people were just trying to egg him on, getting him to start fights and stuff. Do you know what I mean? Just to get a rise out of him. It's sad, isn't it? Playing off people like that. Great bit of film. Walls of Dada. Did you go and have a listen at all?
No, I meant to. Didn't get round to it.
I
How
did.
was it?
I don't know if you'll like it as much as you like 6x7. It's a bit more sort of electro sort of vibe going on. I liked it.
I like my electro krautrocky stuff, man.
But,
I like all of that.
Man, they've got criminally low I think they've got less than 100 subscribers on YouTube, which is fucking mental considering all the other shit that's on there.
That's true. I mean? People, get onto YouTube.
Yeah, Walls of Dada. Go and have a listen. It's fucking criminal to have anything that Chris Ollie's been involved with have less than 100 subscribers on YouTube. Fuck.
Yeah.
So you're probably following some other prick that doesn't do anything. So go and follow these guys that are making beautiful music. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm going to do that as soon as we hang up here.
Yeah, Walls of Dada. It's good stuff. Yeah, I think they're quite sporadic with what they put out, but it's all on Bandcamp as well. And definitely check it out.
We'll do. Been meaning to.
Next week.
We'll do.
That's that one. Thanks so much to Royal Whitby Events for sponsoring the podcast again. I can't go through that whole list again, but there is a link in our show notes. Go and check out all their events. Get down to Captain's Beard on the 7th. That's coming up this week, isn't it? Is it this week? Next week?
Yeah, it will be when this comes out. Yeah.
I think it's free entry, but it's a charity gig. So if you're near Whitby, I've seen Captain's Beard. I'm sure. I think might be from sort of the Brighton area. I'm not sure, but they ring a bell. But yeah, get down.
You're not
there.
Thinking of Anal Beard, are you?
No, you are obviously.
Oh, okay. They are a great Brighton band.
It's a good name.
It is.
So yeah, thanks so much for sponsoring this week's podcast. If you are watching, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel, share it with your friends, get involved in the comments, all that stuff. And if you're listening, do the same, share it with your friends so they can find the podcast. You can sponsor the podcast at stupidandcontagiousPodcast@gmail.com. Royal Whitby Events have done this week. Easy as that. We'll give you a shout out. Promote your event, band, record label, shop, whatever. So get in touch. And you can buy our merch. I haven't mentioned it this week. You can buy our merch, our Stupid and Contagious t-shirts and mugs and stuff. Go on our Shopify store, bag yourself some merch, help the podcast out. Luke?
If you're new
to
the
nice
podcast,
t-shirt, by the way.
Thank you. It's new.
I mentioned it the whole time.
There you go.
Meant
For
to,
people,
I forgot.
Audio only. It's a Bikini Kill t-shirt with a classic record player logo on it. Picked it up this week. Thanks, man. If you're new to the podcast, welcome aboard. We've got loads of archives.
If you've come here from Lane's Fingers, then we're nice guys, really. We
are nice guys.
We love
We've got a grunge special. We've got a grunge special where we praise Alice in Chains to the fucking rooftops. Neil Shoes is a Mrs. very number one favourite grunge band. So we're not all about, shitting on Alice in Chains.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah.
We're just talking about the tragedy of heroin is what we talk about a lot. It's just tragic. That's
we are, because it's such a big part of the 90s music scene. So, we've got to talk about it. So, go back and have a listen to that. If you're into Britpop, we've got plenty of those to listen to as well. I make a mixtape for every episode. So, a load of the stuff that Peter talked about, as well as, of course, some Dandy Warhols tunes I'll put on there. So, check it out. And again, thanks to Chris Ollie for setting this up, and to Peter for coming on. Really appreciate it, guys. Thanks.
All right, that's it for this one. Join us next week for episode 139 of the Stupid and Contagious podcast. Dave.
See you in a minute.